Michael Eric Dyson just got worse.
His personality, that's that Hawaiian chill out personality, and that's also he ain't got the same kind of ethos, pathos, pain, hurt, and agony that black people have had. I'm not saying he's not black. That's not what I'm saying. I'm not saying he ain't truly black. He is. Blacker than a lot of black people I know. But he didn't have that existential misery growing up in the same way. He doesn't have the same anger necessarily that black people have. That we are outraged by this stuff. He didn't feel it in his gut the same way. I'm not saying he ain't black. He's blacker than black. I've known Obama since '92. One of the blackest dudes I know. But what I'm saying is that your being black ain't got nothing to do with the kind of blackness and the kind of experience that you had and endured. And so you don't feel driven to speak out.
What's up, world? Your boy Challz Brown back again talking facts. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe, hit that notification bell. Keep sending those cash outs to CLBMG. Join that membership and all you buying that merch down below. Gang, listen. Dr. Michael Eric Dyson actually knew what he was doing when he went on this tirade about blackness, this, that, and the third with Drake, and we're trying to de-black Drake, because what happened was the internet never forgets, and somebody, salute to whoever, I think it was, I don't know, my guy, Eric, what's his name? Eric Vincent, I believe his name is, I'm not sure, but he posted a clip of Michael Eric Dyson going crazy on Obama back in the day, saying that Obama isn't quite as black as us, right? The same thing he accused Kendrick of doing to Drake, and us as a culture doing to Drake, de-black him. Well, he did the same thing to Obama. Funny how that works. He had the whole thing mapped out, and he talked about it very clearly and was very adamant that, yeah, he is black. The same thing we were saying about Drake, but he just ain't black enough, right? He don't have the same strengths as problems and the same mind strength as we have, what we had to deal with and grow up with in our country. He's a Hawaiian guy who has I believe he has a white mom, right? Something like that. End of the day, Michael Eric Dyson didn't really have too many niceties to say. He's like, I love Obama, but then he went on to say how Obama can't actually know what we're going through, right? I want to play this clip and I want to have this conversation because I feel like what we're seeing is very hypocritical, because what that means is you basically picked and chose when to pull out this whole blacker than this, that, and the third card, but you pulled it on Obama when you felt that it was necessary to do it back then, whatever point you were making at that point. So what I want to do, let me get to this comment. Let me get to this clip, because what kills me with people, right? A person like Dr. Michael Eric Dyson, he really 100% had everything padlocked, like this is a lock, I got this all set up. And then we come to find out he said the exact opposite and did the exact opposite colorism to somebody else. And what we had to say back then about Obama, every time somebody said that shit about Obama, we attacked their ass. But then you came in, right, with the same shit that we said about Drake. Let me get to this comment. We're going to have this conversation.
Look, a lack of willingness to engage.
I mean, that's his personality. That's that Hawaiian chill out personality. And that's also he ain't got the same kind of ethos, pathos, pain, hurt, and agony that black people have had.
So right there, you just said he ain't got the ethos, pain, the hurt, the agony that black people have had. This is about Obama, who became the first black president. This is Michael Eric Dyson. It sounds like when he was doing his book, What Truth Sounds Like, RFK, James Baldwin, and our unfinished conversation about race in America. He was peddling a book at the time. It was a New York Times bestseller. He's a New York Times best-selling author, and he was pushing that book, and I don't know who the person interviewing him was, but he kind of was going on a tangent about how this guy wasn't black enough. He understood it then, but he don't understand it now, right? When he likes Drake's music over Kendrick, this, that, and the third, because he has some kind of thing with Kendrick. Let's just be honest. He called him the Pulitzer Prize winner, da-da-da. So he said that in kind of like a facetious way. So for some reason, he's taken a side in this battle, and he's decided that colorism is bad, right? Colorism is bad when it's on the other side of somebody that he liked. But this time he did it to Obama. Let me continue.
I'm not saying he's not black. That's not what I'm saying. I'm not saying he ain't truly black. He is black.
Now, you know how many times we said that about Drake? This guy did 3 videos, had to end up apologizing to Jay-Z. We said we're not saying he's not black, but he's not like us. This was the whole catalyst. He went on a whole tirade. He put that Detroit Tigers hat on and went on a whole nother tirade, still talking about this, that, and the third, trying to tell us we're wrong, right? We never said he wasn't black. We said he wasn't of the culture. The culture is what you're describing that Obama is not. That's the exact same culture we're talking about. Culture, we're not talking about blackness when we say he's not like us. We're saying he's not in America, the black American experience. He doesn't understand that. right? I already told you I had the interview with Drake where he said he was raised in a cultural mosaic. They didn't have racism where he was. Everybody got along. He didn't have a lot of issues with other people. They was very happy where he was. That's not where we grew up. That the people that rap didn't grow up in that. So they're not like us. He didn't say words like us. He didn't say the N-word. He used to say, he tried to say it with the hard R. He wasn't from these neighborhoods when he said he first faced racism when he got to America. He also said that when he went on to the Grammys and they gave him rap Grammys, he said he felt like they only did that because he was black. He didn't want to be stuck in the black box of rappers. He said that was kind of insulting, and he didn't know if he wanted to keep his Grammys, right? Remember that? And what he said, I told you that was in a 2017 article for, I believe it was the Atlanta something. I can't remember what it was, but it's online. You can find it yourself. End of the day, he felt that was his first brush with racism when he came to America, which was, we grew up in it. We already knew what it was about, whether we experienced it every day or not. It was on our TVs. It was in our families. Our aunts and uncles went through it, and they passed it down to us, and we understood what it was about, even if we didn't go through it directly. But we eventually did. When we got 9, 10, 11, 12, we started going through it ourselves, and we was walking down the street, cop pull you over, tell you get on your knees and shake you down. It is what it is. This stuff happened to us on a daily, and this is what we were going through. This is what we were trying to say. He's not like us. He started playing. We felt like he was cosplaying as an American black man, and it started to get more serious because he got better at doing it. And we started to be like, "Yo, wait a minute, bro. Like, you're not this. You're kind of like trying to usurp some of this sauce over here, and we not really." We really kind of don't know how we feel about how this is looking, and a lot of people are giving you a lot more credit than it's deserved because this is an act at this point. Let me continue.
Blacker than a lot of black people I know. But he didn't have that existential misery growing up in the same way. He doesn't have the same anger necessarily that black people have.
Existential misery, right? The same anger that black people have. And what he's not saying right there, what he mean by black is black Americans. He means us. The same people that's on Kendrick's side that's saying Not Like Us is a great record. This is the people that we're talking about. And this is the people that he's trying to tell we're wrong, right? Remember, the whole thing was about you guys are trying to limit blackness down to Compton, right? Blackness is this, that, and the third. Start naming all these people in Drake's lineage and this, that, and the third, which make him black. It don't make you black American just because somebody from black America is in your DNA. That don't make you black American, right? If you're living in a Jewish community up in Canada, you having a bar mitzvah and you're going to Jewish schools and this, that, and the third, and you're not going to have the same experiences we got down here, gang. It ain't going to happen no way, no how. You're going to learn about rap. You're going to learn about the inner city from rap songs and videos and YouTube and Google. Right? You're going to learn from that way. And when you do come to Memphis in the summertime, you're going to learn a little bit about that. But we don't know how much extensively he was outside. We don't know if they was like, all right, don't go past the corner, Aubrey. We don't know how much he was doing when he was down here for those summers. We don't know if he really was rocking out or he was on the steps reading a book because he couldn't leave the yard. We don't know that. So we don't know how much culture he actually got. Let me continue.
That we are outraged by this stuff. He didn't feel it in his gut the same way. I'm not saying he ain't black. He's blacker than black. I've known Obama since '92, one of the blackest dudes I know. But what I'm saying is that your being black ain't got nothing to do with the kind of blackness and the kind of experience that you had and endured. And so you don't feel driven to speak out.
So the kind of blackness that you endured. He's basically saying you're not feeling the need to speak out because you don't understand it. You don't get it. You're not like us. You don't understand our worries, our needs, the things that bother us, the things that hurt us, the things that concern us in our everyday lives, how we feed our kids, what happens in our homes. None of that stuff is really central to your mentality because you can't understand what we're going through. That's what he's saying. He's saying he's blacker than black on the outside. Anybody can be black on the black on the outside, right? I told you, what's this guy named Lee Ferguson, whatever his name is, that conservative guy was there, Eric Lee Ferguson. I don't remember his name, but he's a conservative. He's a black conservative guy. He's always talking real negative and down on black people, calling us dumb, this, that, and the third. He's very popular on that right wing, that red side. He makes a big living, a good living over there. But that don't mean that he's like us. He's 100% nothing like us. So just because you black and got black skin and black DNA, it's two different things. If you're really like us, you're of this culture. And what Michael Eric Dyson elegantly described was someone who is from another place, like a Hawaii or Canada, that sees this from afar and could tell you this, that, and the third. He may like some of the music, he may like this, that, and the third, but he really not in this in this situation like we are, and he can't really understand it. That's what he's described right there. But last week or the week before that, he couldn't understand it when he went on the Jay Moore show and he talked about colorism and he talked about how it was our fault that we were trying to take his blackness because we can't take his blackness. Well, nobody was taking his blackness. Kendrick in the battle reminded him that he had issues. It was a battle and he was using his weakness against him. And one of his weaknesses is that he has issues with his own skin tone. He has issues with his own level of blackness because he has a white mom, and that kind of bothers him. And people may have picked on him and bullied him about that, and that bothers him. So in a battle, you want to use your opponent's weakness against him. Michael Eric Dyson didn't understand it, or he really didn't understand it, and he played willfully ignorant. I feel like he understood it, but he got so much affinity for this guy Drake that he was going to bend all these rules. Everything he stood on before about Obama, he conveniently forgot all of that and try to make it a whole case that he didn't understand why we were saying anything about this guy's blackness or whatever. And he knew it wasn't about his blackness. It was about the culture that he did not represent. He didn't represent the culture. This guy couldn't understand that. For some reason, he wanted us to believe that he just didn't. We don't think that he could fit in because he got a white mom. He tried to make it about the white mom. I tell y'all all the time that the colorism is not about white mom. It's about one tone of a skin tone. It could be either one. When the light skinned ones want to devalue or make fun of or discredit the dark skinned one, and they want to call them names like I always say, African booty scratcher. You heard that all the time when we was young. It was hilarious. We used to say that shit. It was wrong, but that's what people said. And then you had the dark ones when they wanted to get on the light skinned ones. They said a whole lot of mean things, a whole lot of shit I can't say on YouTube. So end of the day, that's when you colorizing people, okay? And at the end of the day, it has nothing to do. You may have a white mom, which will make it even better for the guy cracking on you. He can get on your mom too. So it's called the dozens. They wasn't doing the dozens up there. They were in a cultural mosaic. Okay, like Drake said, I was in a cultural mosaic. I didn't have those problems. So end of the day, what's going on is we saw a man that knows these things and tried to pull the wool over our eyes anyway to try to reverse that battle. A lot of these guys can't sit. It doesn't sit well that they lost this battle. A lot of these guys, they want this to be not true that this happened. Well, it happened, and they want to rewrite the history because they like him. Well, guess what? A lot of people like him, but it don't change the fact that what happened. He got dissed in the battle and he got beat up pretty bad. It was a really bad outcome and he sued for it. So at the end of the day, no matter no kind of talking and trying to defend him and rewriting history and bend the words and twist. I just did that video last night. I went live and talked about that video, the one Drake fan versus 5 Drake haters. I did a whole video on that talking about this situation, and this came up. Right? And what we're seeing is a lot of people that want to reverse the outcome of the battle. It ain't going to happen. It is what it is. He lost a battle. He wasn't strong enough. He was never going to beat this guy in any case scenario because he's just not as good as a rapper. He's just not. You could tell by Family Matters, which some people think was the best rapper, the best song in the battle. I don't, and most people don't. The culture is already decided. They want to rewrite this whole thing. They want to tell you how good the lyrics are of that song, this, that, and the third. They want to change everything about the battle. That's why 2 years later, you're still online debating. They're still debating the same shit that already been decided. Okay? End of the day, man, listen, Michael Eric Dyson, you played yourself, right? In the immortal words of who said that? You played yourself. I don't even remember who said that. Somebody tell me in the comments who said it. You played yourself. End of the day, you played yourself, and right here you got caught in a sticky situation. Now I want to see you make your video, put your Detroit Tigers hat on, and be cool and try to make light of this one. Because end of the day, you got caught, gang. We caught you. It ain't looking good. You looking like a hypocrite out here. So you got to answer or don't. It is what it is. But it already happened, and we already addressed it. I'm out of here. I don't have nothing else to talk about, man. Michael Eric Dyson, man, fix it. Figure it out in your own mind, because we can't really jack you no more. I already told you, I don't really got the same level of affinity that I used to. I used to think you was cool. Now I don't know. I don't even know what's going on with you. I'm just going to be honest. It is what it is, all right? Listen, man, head on over to black-yeti.com. Let them know who sent you. They ship all over the continental U.S. Every Wednesday night, we go live on the What Show. Me, TJ, and Fliz, tap in, lock in, getting them comments. We go online on about 9:15, 9:30 on all 8 of my social media platforms. And go down in my links. Hit that Temu link. You know you already shop at Temu. Use my link to do it. That is the video featuring me, TJ, and Fliz off the Web Project. Lock in is on all streaming platforms. Let me know what you think in the comments, man. If that video, share it. Hit that like button, man. I'm out of here. I'm going to catch you on that flip side. Peace.
Look, mission impossible to drop a few lines without dropping old times when Southern Hill was still a gold mine. When pistol grips was my shit and I sold mine. When Alias was not a show and they told mine.
Elevate your mind with high quality THC infused products. BlackYeti.com. Black-Yeti.com.
CLB.
Get my coat, get my sheepskin, grab my wallet, get my pocket knife, and get that hat right there. We out. Grab my pocket knife too. Let's go. When I first came to the city, niggas didn't believe me. I just wanted to join a team and throw a 6-pass easily. 6-man off the bench, alley-oop pass freely. Suit up for one game and hope a scout might see me. But nah, niggas is greedy, wasn't rocking with him. Unplugged the scoreboard, put a lock on the gym. Told me to power forward, point guard at the rim. And left me with no center and a ball full of phlegm. Not knowing that I'm a dog, a Rottweiler within, with the heart of a pit bull that don't bark for pretend. My bites cut deep, break the bone and the skin, with the level of hustlenomics you do not comprehend. So first I took a block down on the west side end, and then secured a spot with some goons and some kin, and then sent out some flyers, let the games begin. And in 6 months time, the city like that's him. Oh yeah, he the one that moved the hustle to the burbs. And yeah, he the one that knocked the hustlers off the curb. And yeah, he the one that set up shop without a word. And he the one that got it cracking, and all he did was rapping by the Hooters. I kept killers from being shooters. Put a mic in a thug's hand, now he loyal like past fans. Take a man off the streets past the needles and crack cans. Promise mama to keep him safe and put some food in his face, and he'll kill for you, but I don't need him for that. Click like, click share, tell them bitches we back. Share the whole location, tell them niggas where we at. Cause we out here, we ain't the cheese, we the trap.